أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، بارئ الخلائق أجمعين، باعث الأنبياء والمرسلين، ثم الصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه العبد المؤيد والرسول المسدد، حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد، وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين وصحابته المنتجبين. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله، وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك وأناخت برحلك. عليكم مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين جميعا، ورحمة الله وبركاته. قال الله تعالى في كتابه الكريم: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم، إن أولى الناس بإبراهيم للذين اتبعوه وهذا النبي والذين آمنوا والله ولي المؤمنين. صدق الله العلي العظيم. When you love someone, you try to pick up that person's qualities and traits. You cannot love someone but at the same time go against that person, violate that person's commands, violate that person's orders. That is not love. To love someone is to be like that someone. At the end of the day, why do you love a person? Why would you love someone? Is it not because of their qualities and characteristics? Hence, your love for a person should drive you to pick up their qualities and characteristics and traits. Also, to say that you love someone or that you follow someone is not enough. We don't live off of slogans. People want to see actions. People want to see results and outcomes. To say that you're a follower of a group or a person, or that you love a group or a person, but your actions speak otherwise, then what you said was mere slogans, was mere rhetoric that has no importance and significance whatsoever. The Jews and Christians at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wa at the time of Prophet Muhammad, may the peace of Allah be upon him and his family, they told him, we are closer to Ibrahim. Ibrahim the patriarch, Prophet Abraham, the forefather of all religions and all prophets. We are closer to him. We are following his footsteps. Who are you to teach us about Ibrahim? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wa told him, I'm a prophet. I come from the progeny of Ibrahim. And he's amongst my forefathers, and I go on his path. I continue his journey, his path. They told him, we are followers of Ibrahim. We are the true carriers of the torch of Ibrahim. Allah Azza wa Jal tells Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wa and he speaks to the Jews and Christians. He says that if you are truly closer to Ibrahim and on the path of Ibrahim than anyone else, then you would be following him. You would be following his footsteps. Who is closer to any individual? Those who claim to be following him, or those from his lineage and blood, those who carry his blood, or those who follow in his footsteps? Allah says, إِنَّ أَوْلَى النَّاسِ بِإِبْرَاهِيمَ لَلَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوهُ. The closest people to Ibrahim, those who are his actual followers, those who are closest to him, or those who followed Ibrahim, those who followed his footsteps. They took his guidelines. They obeyed his commands and orders. إن أولى الناس بإبراهيم للذين اتبعوه وهذا النبي والذين آمنوا. And this is the Prophet. Meaning Rasulullah is closer to Ibrahim because he is following his footsteps. He's following his path. He's continuing his journey. Rasulullah and those with him, the believers with him, they are closer to Ibrahim than the Jews and the Christians of that time, who claimed to have a relation to Ibrahim alayhi salam. So it's not about slogans. The Quran teaches us that slogans don't matter. Rhetoric doesn't matter. What we claim doesn't matter. It's what we do. If our claims, they're compatible with our actions, good. We're safe. Otherwise, it's the actions that matter. Actions speak louder than words. I can claim to follow Ibrahim alayhi salam. I can claim to follow Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But if my actions speak otherwise, people will judge me based upon what I claim or what I do. Of course, it's actions. Hence, you see, at the time, Jews and Christians condemned one another. Jews condemned Christians and they claimed that they're deviants. They have deviated from the path of Ibrahim, from the path of Moses, from the path of prophets. While Christians also condemned Jews and told them, you are the deviants, not us. We're on the right path. We're the ones that are correct. We're the ones that are authentic, and you're the fake. We're the righteous, and you're the deviants. وقالت اليهود ليست النصارى على شيء وقالت النصارى ليست اليهود على شيء وهم يتلون الكتاب. Jews condemn Christians and Christians condemned Jews. But this was only words. Who was actually following the right path? It's about those who had actions. It's not about the name of Jewish or the name of Christian. It's about actions. Whoever followed the footsteps of Ibrahim and Moses and Jesus and all the other prophets, Ishaq and Yaqub and Nuh, the ones who are closest to these prophets are those who resembled them in their deeds and in their actions, in their behavior, in their akhlaq. Not by slogans, not by saying, we pick up the torch of Ibrahim. Words are useless if they're not supported by actions. There are some whom Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from Christians and Jews at the time of the revelation, he propagated to them, Rasulullah propagated to them Islam. He invited them to Islam. They told him, but we love God. We already love God. Meaning you don't need to teach us. You don't need to preach to us. We already know the truth. We already love God. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells the Prophet, tell them, if you love God, then you would follow me, because I've been sent by God. Allah has sent me to you. Allah has commanded me to command you with these orders. So if you truly love God, you would follow me. But to say that you love God without following me, it's useless. قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِي يُحْبِبْكُمُ اللَّهِ. Say, if you love God, then follow me. Allah will love you. يُحْبِبْكُمُ اللَّهِ وَيَغْفِرْ لَكُمْ ذُنُوبَكُمْ وَاللَّهُ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. And Allah will forgive your sins, and Allah is all forgiving and all merciful. So those who claim to love Allah, they have to show it through their actions, through their deeds, not by claiming to love. Let me give you an example. If a husband tells his wife that he loves her, he genuinely loves her, but he stabs her in the back, and she sees him stabbing her in the back, he cheats on her, for example. Where's the love? She'll tell you, what good is it if you tell me 100 times a day that you love me, but you stab me in the back, you hurt me, you hurt my feelings. Or a wife that tells her husband that she loves him, but she stabs him in the back. She cheats on him. Or she steals his money. What love is this? Even if she tells him 500 times a day that I love you, it's useless, because if that love is not translated into actions. Similarly, Rasulullah tells his followers, his nation, his companions, قُلْ لَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ أَجْرًا إِلَّا الْمَوَدَّةَ فِي الْقُرْبَى. I ask you nothing in return for my services other than love for the Ahlul Bayt. We're asked to love Ahlul Bayt. How do we love Ahlul Bayt? Just by saying that I love Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and I love Fatima al-Zahra, and I love Amir al-Mu'mineen. How do we love the Ahlul Bayt? By slogans, by expressions, by wearing a necklace with the sword of Imam Ali, or by getting a tattoo of the sword of Imam Ali. That's enough to express love for Imam Ali? Or Rasulullah wants actions from us, deeds from us that resemble the deeds and actions of the Ahlul Bayt. To follow them, to love them is to follow them, is to emulate them, is to follow their footsteps, to walk in their footsteps. Now, after this introduction, my dear friends, I come to the main point of my talk, and that is that there are millions of people who claim love for the Ahlul Bayt. We claim to love Rasulullah and Amir al-Mu'mineen and Fatima al-Zahra, Hassan al-Hussein, and the rest of the Imams. We go to their ziyarah. We visit their mausoleums and their shrines. We ask them for their intercession. During Arba'een, many of us participate in the Arba'een walk. And I pray that inshaAllah, this year, although there's a crisis, although there's a pandemic, but you never know, from now till Arba'een, perhaps things will improve and we could participate in the Arba'een. If not this year, next year inshaAllah. There are many who have participated in the Arba'een. They've come walking to Karbala for 80 kilometers, 100 kilometers from Najaf, even further. There are those who attend the majalis of Imam Hussein, those who perform azadari and matam, and they beat their chests and they wear black and they shed their tears for the Ahlul Bayt. They say that we love Ahlul Bayt, but their actions speak otherwise. Their akhlaq is not the akhlaq of Ahlul Bayt. Their manners is not the manners of Ahlul Bayt. Their manners are similar to the manners of the enemies of Ahlul Bayt. The akhlaq of Bani Umayyah or Bani al-Abbas. What good is this love? Just to claim that we love the Ahlul Bayt. This is nonsense. This is not real love. You love Imam Hussein alayhi salam, you try to resemble Imam Hussein. We love Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, Imam Ali, we try to resemble him in our actions, in our deeds. That's love. Love entails actions, a change in behavior. In Ziyarat Aminullah, this beautiful ziyarah that we recite in the shrine of Imam Ali alayhi salam and all other shrines. Assalamu alayka ya Amin Allah fi ardihi wa sama'ih. Assalamu alayka ya Amin Allah. Ashhadu annaka. Until we get to Allahumma faj'al nafsi mutma'innatan biqadarik. راضية بقضائك. It says مولعة بذكرك ودعائك, and then this is the important part. مستنة بسنن أوليائك مفارقة لأخلاق أعدائك. Oh Allah, make me among those who follow the sunnah of your beloved ones, of the awliya. مستنة, meaning following the sunnah. بسنن أوليائك. Make me among those who follow the sunnah of the Ahlul Bayt, those beloved. Let me have their akhlaq. Let me have their manners. Let my actions emulate their actions. Let me imitate them and emulate them in their character, in their demeanor, in their akhlaq, in their manners. مفارقة لأخلاق أعدائك. Allow me to separate myself from the deeds and actions and behavior of your enemies. مفارقة لأخلاق أعدائك. I don't want the akhlaq of your enemies. I want the akhlaq of your beloved ones. I want to be like the Ahlul Bayt. Make me like the Ahlul Bayt in my deeds and my actions and my akhlaq and my manners. And not like those who fought them, those who were their enemies. مفارقة لأخلاق أعدائك. There are some, unfortunately, that believe they grew up learning or believing that love for Ahlul Bayt is enough. All you have to do is love Imam Hussein and attend his majlis, and you're safe. Your salah isn't perfect, that's not a problem. Your fasting is not perfect, no big deal. You don't wear hijab, it's no issue. You drink, you don't pay khums, you're not trustworthy, you're not honest. These are, side issues. The main issue is love for the Ahlul Bayt, love for Imam Hussein, love for As-Sayyidah Zainab Salamullah alayha, love for Abil Fadl Abbas. Is this what the Ahlul Bayt taught us? That we rely only on their love to claim that we love them? This is not even love. Those who say we love Imam Hussein but their actions speak otherwise, their akhlaq speaks otherwise, this is not love. They're fooling themselves and they're fooling others. They're putting on a show. They're putting on a show. You love the Ahlul Bayt, show it, express it in your actions, and not just in the 10 nights of Muharram. You come and stand in the front line of Matam and you take off your shirt, and while this is good, Matam is good, you beat your chest is good, but if this is the only thing you know about Islam, and for 355 days out of the year, you know nothing about Islam, not in your business, not at school, not at home with your wife and kids, you know nothing of Islam, then this is not what the Imam wants from us. This is not what the Imam wants from us. The Imams want actions from us, deeds, akhlaq, ibadah, our mu'amalat. Unfortunately, this is one kind of Shi'a, this is one kind of followers of Ahlul Bayt, who the only thing they know is that they claim to love the Ahlul Bayt, but they have no deeds and actions to back up that love. There are others who also claim to love Ahlul Bayt, and they want to come and call people to Ahlul Bayt. They want to call people to their cause, invite people to the school of thought of Ahlul Bayt. Some of them are active online, on social media, on TV channels, on the streets, in some mosques. You see them, they're very active. However, their akhlaq has nothing to do with the akhlaq of the Ahlul Bayt. They curse, they use foul language, with figures, historic figures, that other schools of thought deem as honorific. They come and they curse those figures in public areas. They curse, they use foul language. They have the worst of akhlaq. They have the worst of manners. And not just that, but they come even to the maraja'. This marja' is a deviant, may Allah curse him. And that marja' is this, and this scholar, this. And you see that they trash and they attack everyone. Everyone and anyone. Anyone who disagrees with their rigid, their extremist, fundamentalist school of thought. Is this the akhlaq of Ahlul Bayt? To go around on social media cursing and using foul language? And to embarrass the school of thought of Ahlul Bayt like this on social media? Is this the akhlaq of Ahlul Bayt? And to curse and use foul language regarding certain maraja' and scholars? And to say this is a deviant, that person is a deviant, this marja' is a deviant. Why? Because they They don't curse the Sahaba, they don't do this, they don't do that, they don't show true bara'ah of the enemies of Ahlul Bayt. Who are you to judge? Where are you from Ahlul Bayt? Where are you from the teachings of Ahlul Bayt? Is this what the Ahlul Bayt taught? We have to be very careful, my dear friends. We claim to follow and love the Ahlul Bayt. We have to show this in our akhlaq, in our demeanor, in our manners. Today more than before. Today we're on social media. We're on the internet. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. And everyone gets to see what we say. Everyone. How are we portraying the Ahlul Bayt? What sort of akhlaq do we have? And there are some, they think they're serving the Ahlul Bayt. They think they're champions for Ahlul Bayt by using foul language, by cursing everyone and anyone. They think this is the akhlaq of Ahlul Bayt. No, my dear friends. Groups like this are doing an injustice to the Ahlul Bayt. They are insulting the Ahlul Bayt and they are offending them. This is not what the Ahlul Bayt want. The Ahlul Bayt want akhlaq. Akhlaq, my dear friends. The Shia of Ahlul Bayt have to have akhlaq. They have to have manners. The Ahlul Bayt want something from us. We all say that we are Shia. Are you Shia? Yes. We're all Shia. But do we know what it means to be a Shi'i? From the party of Ali ibn Abi Talib, from a member of the school of thought of Imam Ali and his holy progeny. Do we know what this means? Do we know how significant this is? That when we claim to be a Shi'i, do we know what this means? What this entails? Have we earned the level of being a Shi'i? To say you're a Shi'i is not enough. Who said we're a Shia? This is an honor that we have to gain through our deeds, through our actions, through our manners and akhlaq. That's to be Shia. To resemble the Ahlul Bayt and their akhlaq, that is to be Shia. Abu Dhar, he's a Shi'i. Someone who was the most honest person of his time after the Ahlul Bayt, after Rasulullah. That's a Shi'i. Someone who speaks the truth all the time. All the time. Never uttered a lie. That is a Shi'i. Salman al-Farisi. Someone who sought knowledge all his life. Salman al-Farisi lived a long life. Throughout his entire life, he sought knowledge. He sought the truth. He never felt that he's had enough of research and knowledge and seeking education and knowledge. No, he was a seeker of knowledge. That's a Shi'i. That's a person whom deserves for Rasulullah to say, Salmanun minna Ahlul Bayt. Ammar bin Yasir, who was about to be killed. His parents were killed. He was about to be killed. Yet he practiced taqiyya. They told him to name the idols. And he did, and he practiced taqiyya, and he saved his life. And he came to Rasulullah crying. He thought he had committed a sin. Rasulullah told him, no. وَإِنْ عَادُوا عَلَيْكَ فَعُدْ. If they did the same to you, again, do the same thing. Practice taqiyya. This is a Shi'i. A person like Ammar bin Yasir who knows how to practice taqiyya. Who does not insult Ahlul Bayt. Who does not damage the name of the school of thought of Ahlul Bayt. These are the Shia. Yet I claim to be a Shi'i. What have I done for me to receive this honor of being a Shi'i? Do my actions show that I'm a Shi'i? Do our actions show that we are Shia, true followers of Ahlul Bayt? To say that I'm a Shi'i, this is a position. We have to know what it means. We have to know what it entails. It's a responsibility. When I say I'm a Shi'i, that means I'm a representative of Ahlul Bayt. How am I representing them? With what akhlaq? When I'm on social media, when I'm in groups on WhatsApp, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, how am I representing Ahlul Bayt? Am I bringing them a good name? Or no, am I tarnishing the name? The Imam says, كُونُوا زَيْنًا لَنَا وَلَا تَكُونُوا شَيْنًا عَلَيْنَا. Be ornaments for us. Be people that we will be proud of you. We will say that these are our followers. They've made us proud. And do not be a stigma upon us, so that we'll have to condemn you and say we have nothing to do with you. كُونُوا زَيْنًا لَنَا. Be ornaments for us. Be a source of pride for us, so that we can say these are our Shi'a. These are our followers. These are the people that we raised. They implemented our teachings. كُونُوا دُعَاةً لَنَا بِغَيْرِ أَلْسِنَتِكُمْ. Invite people to our school of thought, but without speaking, without having to speak. Meaning how? With your deeds, with your actions, with your akhlaq. How you behave, how you treat a coworker, how you treat a classmate, how you treat your wife, how you treat your children. I know some individuals that became Shi'a, they became followers of Ahlul Bayt because of the actions, not because of a specific scholar or through a book or through a website. No, it's because they saw the actions of the Shi'a, the behavior of the Shi'a, the akhlaq of the Shi'a. They were drawn in. They wanted to be like the Shi'a. To be a Shi'i, it means that we don't curse. Shi'as don't curse. They don't curse one another. They don't use foul language. We don't use foul language. This is the first sign of a believer. This is the first thing that Amir al-Mu'mineen taught his companions. أَكْرَهُ لَكُمْ أَن تَكُونُوا قَوْمًا سَبَّابِينَ. Do not use foul language. If you're a Shi'i and you're using foul language, know that Imam Ali is not satisfied with you. You're displeasing Imam Ali. We don't use foul language. We don't curse. We don't curse one another. Shi'a cursing Shi'a, Shi'a using foul language against other Shi'a, Shi'a fighting other Shi'a, they're not Shi'a. Know that both groups are not genuine Shi'a. They're not following the path of Ahlul Bayt. Shi'as don't oppress. They don't oppress anyone. They don't oppress groups, minority groups. They don't oppress individuals. A Shi'i husband will never oppress his wife. A Shi'i wife will never oppress her husband. A Shi'i family will not oppress their children. There's no oppression. Shi'as take their ibadat seriously. They take their ibadat seriously. Their salah, their fasting, their hajj, their khums, their zakat, their jihad, their al-amr bil-ma'roof, wa-nahy al-munkar, al-tawalli, al-tabarri. All of this is taken seriously. They don't rely on the slogan of we love Ahlul Bayt just to claim they love Ahlul Bayt. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, in his final moments, he gathered his Shia. He gathered some of his followers and family members, and he said, إِنَّ شَفَاعَتَنَا لَا تَبْلُغْ or لَن تَبْلُغْ مُسْتَخِفًا بِصَلَاتِهِ. Our intercession will not reach someone who takes his salah or someone who takes her salah lightly. He didn't say someone who doesn't pray. No. They pray, but they don't take their salah. They take their salah lightly. They don't take it seriously. They delay their salah. The adhan is, for example, at 12 noon. They pray at 2 p.m., 3 p.m. When they're done with all of their chores, when they're done taking care of everything else, they pray. This is taking salah lightly. A Shi'i does not take his ibadat lightly. He takes them seriously. She takes them seriously. Shi'a are honest and trustworthy. They don't lie. And you can trust them. You can trust them with a job. You can trust them with a position. You can trust them with your house, with your car, with your mosque, with your wife. A Shi'i does not backstab. A Shi'i will never break the trust of anyone, even if it's a non-Shi'i. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was entrusted with money of mushrikeen in Mecca, and he didn't take a single dirham for himself. These are the Shia. They're honest. They're trustworthy. They show humility and not arrogance like their Imams. The Shia are always humble. They show humility. They're not arrogant. They're not proud. This is the akhlaq of the Shia. This is the akhlaq of the Ahlul Bayt. This is what the Ahlul Bayt taught us. The Ahlul Bayt sacrificed their lives to teach us. They taught us about humility and humbleness, how to be humble. This is the akhlaq of the Shia. Shia are seekers of knowledge and seekers of the truth. And they're open-minded. They're not narrow-minded. Shia seek knowledge. They grow intellectually. They grow in wisdom. They grow in knowledge year after year. They keep an open mind. They listen to various opinions and they choose the best of opinion. We Shia, we have no insecurities because we follow the best school of thought. So nothing can scare us. We have the strongest school of thought intellectually. We are equipped. So we're not afraid of other opinions. We're not afraid of reading other books. We're not afraid of listening to other speakers and lectures. We don't have insecurities. We don't feel insecure. Because what we have is rock solid. And anything we compare to the school of thought of Ahlul Bayt, it doesn't compare to it. We don't have insecurities. Others have insecurities. Others say don't listen to the Shia. Don't listen to their scholars. Don't read their books. Don't go to their majalis. Don't befriend Shia. They'll manipulate you. They're deceptive. We don't have this insecurities. Because what we have is strong. Intellectually, it's strong. Let's come to some of the narrations of the Ahlul Bayt. Let's see what the Ahlul Bayt tell us about what they want from the Shia. How the Shia should behave. What are the qualities of the Shia? What's the characteristics of the Shia? What's the akhlaq of the Shia? Let's see some of the narrations that define who a Shi'i is. And let's see, do we fall into this category? Do we have these qualities and characteristics? Do these narrations, do they apply to us or they don't apply to us? A hadith from Imam al-Hasan Askari. He says, Shi'atu Aliyin, the Shia of Ali are the following four. الذين لا يبالون في سبيل الله أوقع الموت عليهم أم وقعوا على الموت. They do not care for the sake of Allah. They do not care if death comes to them or they go towards death. The Shia of Ali are brave. If they are told to perform jihad in the sake of Allah, their land is in trouble, their country is in trouble, their faith is in trouble, they perform jihad. And they're fearless. They're not scared of dying, whether death comes to them or they go towards death. 2. Shi'atu Aliyin هم الذين يؤثرون إخوانهم على أنفسهم ولو كان بهم خصاصة. The Shia of Ali, they sacrifice for their brethren, even if they need that which they sacrifice. Money, food, housing, they give to their brethren. Even if they are in need, but they give. Like Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas alayhi salam. He could have drank water, but he didn't. He saved it for his brother. He didn't drink before his brother. And nothing would have happened. If he had drank water, nothing would have happened. It wasn't haram for him to drink water. But it's a sacrifice. To put others before us. To think of others before we think of ourselves. That is being Shi'i. 3. وَهُمُ الَّذِينَ لَا يَرَاهُمُ اللَّهُ حَيْثُ نَهَاهُم. They are the people Allah will not find them in a position in which He had forbidden them from doing. He won't catch them drinking. He won't catch them fornicating. He won't catch them stealing. He won't catch them gossiping. He won't catch them lying. وَلَا يُفْقِدَهُمْ مِنْ حَيْثُ أَمَرَهُمْ. And He will not miss them in a position in which He had ordered them to do. If He had ordered them to pray, He will find them praying. He had ordered them to be honest, He will find them being honest. If He had ordered them to be trustworthy, He will find them being trustworthy. وشيعة علي هم الذين يقتدون بعلي في إكرام إخوانهم المؤمنين. And the Shia of Ali are those who follow the footsteps of Ali alayhi salam in honoring their brothers, in honoring them. إكرام إخوانهم المؤمنين. Ikram is as you honor. You could honor them by a gift, by money, by visiting them, by respecting them, by listening to them, respecting their opinions. You honor your brothers, your fellow brothers, your fellow mu'mineen. Another hadith by Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. He defines who are the Shia. He says, Shi'atuna, our Shia, Ahlul Wara'i wal Ijtihad. They are the people of piety and righteousness. They're God-fearing. Shia are God-fearing people. You have to fear Allah Azza wa Jal to be a Shia. وَأَهْلُ الْوَفَاءِ وَالْأَمَانَةِ. And they are people of loyalty and trustworthiness. Whether you entrust them with $1 or you entrust them with $100,000, you'll receive it back from them. They are loyal. They are trustworthy. You put them in a position, they are loyal to the position. They are trustworthy with the position. They won't break your loyalty. وَأَهْلُ الزُّهْدِ وَالْعِبَادَةِ. They are people of zuhd. Zuhd meaning they are not fooled by this dunya. وَالْعِبَادَةِ. And they are people of ibadah, of worship. You see, they don't rely on their love for the Ahlul Bayt. They say that I have love for Ali ibn Abi Talib, that's all I need. No. وَأَهْلُ الْعِبَادَةِ أَهْلُ الزُّهْدِ وَالْعِبَادَةِ. They are not fooled by this dunya. They leave the pleasures of this dunya. وَأَهْلُ الْعِبَادَةِ. Their salah, their fasting, their hajj, their khums. أصحاب إحدى وخمسين ركعة في اليوم والليلة. في اليوم والليلة. The Shia are those who pray 51 units a day, meaning the 17 units that are mandatory, Subh, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib and Isha, and the Nawafil and the recommended prayers. 2 for Salat al-Subh before it. 8 for Salat al-Dhuhr before it. 2 rak'ahs. 8 for Salat al-Asr. 4 for Salat al-Maghrib after it. And 2 for Salat al-Isha, which count as 1 by sitting. Al-Qa'imuna bil-Layl. The Shia are those who stand at night, meaning Salat al-Layl. They're the ones that pray Salat al-Layl. As-Sa'imuna bin-Nahar, those who fast during the day. Yuzakkuna amwalahum, they give zakat of their wealth. وَيُحُجُّونَ الْبَيْتِ, they go to Hajj. They don't take Hajj lightly. They don't say I have a business, I don't have time, I can't leave my family. They go to Hajj. وَيَجْتَنِبُونَ كُلَّ مُحَرَّمٍ. And they abandon, they avoid every sin, everything that is forbidden. This is the Shia. These are the qualities of the Shia. And another hadith, again by Imam Sadiq, he says, شِيعَتُنَا مَنْ قَدَّمَ مَا اسْتَحْسَنَ. He puts forward for his akhirah good deeds, the good deeds that he feels will help him. وَأَمْسَكَ مَسْتَقْبَحْ. And he does not perform deeds that he believes are disgusting, that will not benefit him in the akhirah. وَأَظْهَرَ الْجَمِيلِ. He shows the good in people. He says the good in people. He does not say what is bad in people. وَسَارَعَ بِالْأَمْرِ الْجَلِيلِ. And he who rushes to do good, رَغْبَةً إِلَىٰ رَحْمَةِ الْجَلِيلِ, because of his hope in the mercy of the Almighty. فَذَاكَ مِنَّا وَإِلَيْنَا وَمَعَنَا حَيْثُ كُنَّا. Indeed, that person is one of us and from us, and will be with us wherever we were. Meaning in the next life, he will also be with us. In a hadith by Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam, he says, مَا شِيعَتُنَا إِلَّا مَنِ اتَّقَى اللَّهَ وَأَطَاعَهُ. The Shia are those, you're not a Shia except if you are pious towards Allah, if you are God-fearing, if you are God-obeying, then you're a Shi'i. وَمَا كَانُوا يُعْرَفُونَ إِلَّا بِالْتَوَاضُعِ. And they were not known except for humility. The Shia are known to be humble, to show humility. They're known for humility. وَالتَّخَشُّعِ, to be self-aware and to be conscientious. وَأَدَاءِ الْأَمَانَةِ, and they are trustworthy. If they're entrusted with anything, they give it back as it is. وَكَثْرَةِ ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ, and they are known for remembering, numerous remembrance of Allah Azza wa Jalla. They're always in the state of remembrance. Remembrance is not always by the tongue, but it's in the mind as well, and it's in the heart. Those who are continuously remembering Allah. They don't forget Allah. They don't disassociate themselves from Allah Azza wa Jalla. Another hadith by Imam Al-Baqir alayhi salam. He says, إِنَّمَا شِيعَةُ عَلِيٍّ مَنْ عَفَّ بَطْنَهُ وَفَرْجَهُ. He who watches what he puts in his stomach and he who guards his private parts does not get himself in a sin. وَاشْتَدَّ جِهَادُهُ. His jihad is strong. Not just jihad in the battlefield, but jihad against the nafs. وَعَمَلَ لِخَالِقِهِ. وَعَمِلَ لِخَالِقِهِ. And he works for his creator. وَرَجَى ثَوَابَهُ. And he hopes his reward. وَخَافَ عِقَابَهُ. Who he fears his punishment. فَإِذَا رَأَيْتَ أُولَٰئِكَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ شِيعَةُ جَعْفَرٍ. If you see people with these qualities, then know they are the Shia. This is the akhlaq of the Shia. These are the qualities of the Shia. Another hadith, he says, Imam Al-Baqir or Imam Al-Sadiq, he says, امتحنوا شيعتنا عند ثلاث. Test our Shia at three things. If they pass the test, they are true Shia. If they don't pass the test, they're not Shia. Three things. Number one, عند مواقيت الصلاة كيف محافظتهم عليها. Test them at the time of Salah. Do they pray on time or they don't pray on time? A Shi'i will pray on time. Adhan is at 12, the person will pray at 12. Will not delay their Salah till 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. This is the first test, the test of Salah. 2. وَعِنْدَ أَسْرَارِهِمْ كَيْفَ حِفْظِهِمْ لَهَا عِنْدَ عَدُوِّنَا. Trust them with our secrets, the secrets of Ahlul Bayt. The Ahlul Bayt have secrets. And we know some of their secrets. Their secret teachings. Test them. Do they expose the secrets of Ahlul Bayt? Do they say them wherever they go in front of the enemies of Ahlul Bayt? Or do they keep it a secret? This is a test. For those of us that are on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, and we say all sorts of things. We expose the secrets of the Ahlul Bayt. We've lost the test. And 3, وَإِلَىٰ أَمْوَالِهِمْ كَيْفَ مُوَاسَاتِهِمْ لِإِخْوَانِهِمْ فِيهَا. And there's a test in their money and their wealth. Do they give to the poor? Do they give to their brethren? Or they don't give their brethren? Test them and see whether they've passed the test or not. That's the Shia. On the night of Ashura, we see that Imam Hossein alayhi salam, his companions, his followers, they have these qualities. They have all of these qualities. The Shia of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. They were loyal. Look at their loyalty. To the point that Zuhair ibn al-Qayn, on the night of Ashura, when Imam Hussein alayhi salam tells them that they may leave, they don't have to stay, Zuhair ibn al-Qayn says, Ya Aba Abdullah, if I were to be killed, and my body to be cut into pieces, and for me to be burnt, and my ashes to be scattered in the wind, and then if I were alive again, and they would cut me into pieces, and I were to be burnt, and my ashes scattered in the wind, and for this to happen to me 70 times or 1,000 times, I would not abandon you, Ya Aba Abdullah. I will remain with you. This is the Shia. This is their loyalty. On the night of Ashura, if we were in the camp of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, we would see their behavior. Were they spending the night in chatter, in laughter, in jokes, or sleeping? No. Ashab al-Hussein, the night of Ashura, كان لهم دوي كدوي النحل. They had the buzzing of a bee. If you would enter their camps, you would hear the buzzing of a bee. Have you heard the buzzing of a bee? Because of their prayers, their chanting, their supplication, their tilawah of the Quran. They murmur the recitation of the Quran and the du'as and the supplications and the salah. It sounds like the buzzing of a bee. ما بين قائم وقاعد وراكع وساجد. You would see one is standing, one is sitting, one is bowing, one is prostrating, praying to Allah Azza wa Jal. أصحاب 51 القائمون بالليل. Those who pray at night, those who worship, those who supplicate, those who recite the Quran, those who implement the Quran. These were the companions of Imam Hussein. Tonight, let's come and remember two of the nephews of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Awn wa Muhammad, the sons of a Sayyidah Zainab salamullahi alayh. These two brothers were inseparable. They were always together. When Sayyidah Zainab salamullahi alayha left Medina with her brother Imam Hussein, Awn and Muhammad remained in Medina with their father, Abdullah ibn Ja'far. However, later on, they wanted to join the camp of Imam Hussein and the journey of Imam Hussein. They wanted to join this battle. Their father brought them to a distance, and then they joined the camp of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. They came. They joined the caravan of Imam Hussein. They came to Karbala with their mother. They were young. On the day of Ashura, when Bani Hashim entered one by one in the battlefield, these two brothers, they also came to seek permission to fight. Imam Hussein alayhi salam gave them permission, but he felt sorrowful, he felt sad. He embraced them, he hugged them, he embraced them, and he allowed them to enter the battlefield. These two brothers fought very bravely. When Awn needed help, Muhammad would come to his rescue. When Muhammad needed help, Awn would come to his rescue. Sayyidah Zainab salamullahi alayha, whenever a companion or from Bani Hashim, from the family of Rasulullah, they would enter the battlefield, she would come and stand for moral support with Imam Hussein alayhi salam. She would come and watch, she would come and look, providing Imam Hussein with moral support. Yet with Awn and Muhammad, she felt embarrassed. She felt shy. She didn't want to show her tears to Imam Hussein. She remained in her camp until these brothers fell to the ground and they shouted, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Imam Hussein alayhi salam rushes to them. He brings them back to the tent. Sayyidah Zainab does not come and greet them. She would greet all of the martyrs. She would welcome them back to the tent. Ali al-Akbar, Al-Qasim, all of the young ones. Except with Awn and Muhammad, she was embarrassed of Imam Hussein. She did not come and greet them. La ilaha illallah. Look at the patience of a Sayyidah Zainab salamullahi alayha. What patience. What strength to sacrifice her sons, to see them fight in the battlefield for their uncle. The strength can only come from a Sayyidah Zainab salamullahi alayha. Yes, there was another companion on the day of Ashura, Joan, Mawla Abi Dhar. Joan also wanted to enter the battlefield. Imam Hussein alayhi salam kept on refusing. He told him, no, you're a servant of ours. You don't have to fight our battles. Joan told Imam Hussein that at times of comfort, I stay with you, but at times of difficulties, I abandon you? No, by God, I will remain and I will fight until my blood mixes with your blood. Joan was given permission to fight. Imam Hussein alayhi salam watched him as he fought, as he fell. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Imam Hussein rushes to him. He saw Joan in his final moments. Joan performed something. Imam Hussein performed something that he didn't do except with his son Ali al-Akbar. He put his cheeks on the cheeks of Joan and he prayed for him. And Joan departed. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين. نسألك اللهم وندعوك باسمك العلي الأعظم الأعز الأجل الأكرم يا الله. اللهم لا تدع لنا ذنبا إلا غفرته، ولا هما إلا فرجته، ولا عيبا إلا سترته، ولا خوفا إلا آمنته، ولا رزقا إلا بسطته، ولا شملا إلا جمعته، ولا مرضا إلا شفيته، ولا غائبا إلا حفظته وأدنيته، ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا والآخرة لك فيها رضا ولنا فيها صلاح إلا قضيتها ويسرتها يا أرحم الراحمين. وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين.